Okay, if you like spending time with your friends or loved ones, I really hope that's everybody. What better of a moment to do exactly that during the New Year's Eve whilst counting down to the exact seconds the clock strikes 12. I don't know what your favorite activity is, by the way, but when it comes to celebrating the New Year's Eve, I like to watch the New Year's Eve Gala. Not to be confused with a Spring Festival Gala. They made that one so you spend time with your family. But here's the thing. Oh my god, was it different this year, as the 2026 New Year's Gala went for an absolute major league home run, resulting in one of the highest ratings we've seen in a while across the board, whilst making drinking with friends and watching the New Year's Gala great again for the New Year's. Which begs the question now, what did we have this year? Well, why don't we do a quick recap on my favorite moments at the New Year's Gala. First we have Nina Shen's performance, who comes into the song leaving the crowd in tears of joy and laughter, because she hits anything but the key the original song was in. No matter where you're from, that's definitely the universal look for "I fucked up" right on her face as she realized it's going to get so much worse from here onwards. Of course, the people laughing did not help either. But as if things could not get any messier, they also had the original singer of the song standing right next to her, as we witnessed the man break down in real time because he did not look like he wanted to, well, you know, be there, because that's not the look of someone having a good time. Nina Shen, by the way, same girl who was literally bullied online for being the ugliest nepo baby in C Entertainment. I mean, wow. Hey, whoever laughed at that is not going to heaven. But she's had quite the glow up recently, and honestly people seem to love her despite failing not this once but 3 times in a row for the subpar performances of the different remixes of her infamous debut song back when she was an idol, Mei Mei Sunday. Because she couldn't keep up the pacing with her lyrics. You know what I think? I think having it all go wrong is what made that night for me, because at least she's real about it. Speaking of it all going wrong, Ren Suxi, dubbed as the most vocally talented actress from Dongfang TV, suffered a similar catastrophic failure as they forgot to turn on her mic for the first 10 seconds of the song.
Ren Suxi.
Unlike Nina Shen though, at least she could blame it on the technician, am I right? Which is not something this guy could do, as we see an interesting turn of events unfolding right in front of our eyes as 53-year-old vocalist veteran Yuchun makes his grand return on national television, only to miss his chance to begin the verse 3 times in a row because...
OK, 来吧。再给一小节。
又过了，老师。
你别说，这要结束了，我觉得。
Because Unk literally could not find the beat. Here's what I think. Maybe all these years he spent being in that judge chair in The Voice of China has finally caught up to him. But seriously, compared to Yuchun, we also got to see the famous singing duo Chopstick Brothers reunite on stage for the first time in 10 years. A magical moment, truly, but evidently, this is probably also the first time in 10 years since they've last picked up a microphone too. Okay, bad day to be a fan of Chopstick Brothers who just woke up today from a 10-year coma. But they did seem like they were back in the game the moment the chorus hits though. But who am I kidding? Everybody in China knows that part of the song. I don't know, it kind of reminds me of myself every time I try to rap Lose Yourself by Eminem, because, I mean, I don't know the verse to that either, but don't let a mic near me when he starts rapping the part about the mom spaghetti. But after all, what can I say? The duo did make the move to become actors a long time ago, so at least we know now that you can't have it all. Next up, we have idol Liu Yuning, who managed to get into the song as well, but also did not begin the verse because bro forgot which song he was supposed to sing.
放错歌了吧？是这歌吗？对不起。
Was it this song? I don't know. Either way, man, I hope you figure it out. The host, on the other hand, also did manage to mix Liu Yuning up with this other idol. Which really proves the point that the industry-bred idols have gotten so saturated that even the developers are struggling to identify who's who, right? No, seriously, there was this one time they had the Chairman Mao actor Tang Guoqiang do a reality show with idol group TF Boys Third Generation, and I mean...
什么文？刘耀文啊，龚成金，丁冲亚轩，宋。
To say Unk was struggling was an understatement. 73-year-old man, by the way, and you had him on live television looking like a lost grandpa trying to interact with his grandchildren. You'd think they learned the lesson and put him in a different setting this time at the New Year's galas, but nope, just as challenging here. Hey, speaking of lost, do you feel lost when you interact with a Chinese person? Oh my god, what's she trying to say? What she's saying is you gotta step up your Chinese game. Migaku, our sponsor of the day, can help you with that, making learning at your own pace great again. But here's the thing. Migaku isn't really just an app, but a whole lineup made into one platform. Okay, so this extension, for example, allows you to literally mine words out of your desired show on YouTube, Netflix, pretty much any website really. You can even hover over the words to pinpoint which exact word you're struggling with. Or if you want to go a step further, make it into a flashcard to practice every day through their spaced repetition approach. Sky is the limit. But besides helping you learn Chinese online by watching C-dramas, this app also talks you through it by easing you into the language with a beginner course designed to teach you 80% of the Chinese words and grammar patterns by the time you are done. And it does all that whilst fixing your tones as well, which is very unique to Migaku. But I think my most favorite feature is this OCR feature that can translate menu items in real time so you aren't stuck at the restaurant losing aura because you can only say, I want 这个 instead of, well, 蛋炒饭. Hey, that's for my fellow ABCs. So if you see any of the features mentioned you think will help you with your language learning journey, then don't miss this opportunity for a 50% off on the lifetime plan using my link, starting with only $10 a month, or get an additional 1 month free on the standard and early access plans. Although I must say, elder abuse seems to be a pretty common theme on this year's New Year's Eve gala, as they bring in semi-retired idol Han Geng, 41 years of age, back on stage for an 8-minute singing and dancing choreography. And he went so crazy that he managed to untie his shoe from all the momentum. But hey, despite that solid performance, I really can't help but to wonder if we had paramedics on standby. Just to make sure we don't get another national tragedy on New Year's Eve, because Unk was breathing pretty heavy. But speaking of bringing out semi-retired idols to do the work they're kinda past their prime for, netizens speculated that this idol combination tonight was dissecting the song live as it goes, because it seems like each of them was just doing their own thing in the choreographed song. Not to mention the forgetting lyrics part. You know, I like it how this guy gives up singing first and was like, damn, I don't know what's next, you guys figure it out. And then this guy's like, shit, I don't know the lyrics either. And this guy's just chilling, having a good time. But at least they got through it together as a team. Contrary to their performances though, looks like 46-year-old Deng Chao dubbed as the Demon King of Sea Entertainment, you know, because of how chaotic and ADHD ridden his performances always gets. The Demon King seems to have given us a superb second half, delivering classic bangers. Oh, that's still a banger. Another strong contender from the elderly team, Tao Zhe, also gave us a pretty solid performance too, as he kept the audience guessing, because you can never tell which key bro's gonna go for next. Evidently, his entourage could not tell what he was going to do next either, because the moment they realized how much movements bro was putting out every second, it was like, survival mode, try not to trip over the guy in front of you. Another idol in survival mode seems to be Liu Yuning, who not only almost tripped over from his beginning choreography, but was also visibly suffering from the cold. I mean, look at these hands. Someone give him a pair of gloves, please, because that does not look good. Jackson Wang, though, if we flip over to the Hunan channel, was a little bit smarter with his clothing choice. Not only do we see, oh my god, look at that, thermals. And it looks like he's got gloves too, giving us an example in real time on what happens when you don't listen to your mom, when she tells you to put on more clothes because it's cold outside. She saw that, she'd be talking about it for days. But looks like the elements ain't got nothing on Jackson Wang. Another interesting cameo, by the way, we also got to see Jackson Wang perform alongside idol group TNT, who spent more time mewing off camera than they did actually performing. Although, once again, I'm gonna be honest, it was pretty cold, so can't blame them for the short performance. But you know what's more cold? The emotional damage dealt to Wilber Pan this year, who, by the way, is fat-shamed almost every year for gaining weight and then losing it at the speed of light for absolutely no reason. Literally glowing up and down for shits and giggles. So, to be expected this year, he did catch the biggest stray once again when the co-star of his table, Yanbin, was prompted the question, "What was your biggest achievement this year?" So, Yanbin's reply was that he was proud of not gaining weight. And everybody's like, yeah, you see that, Will? Maybe you can learn from that. Although Hu Yanbing did actually manage to catch another stray when they were talking about his most liked search results, which does not look good for him. Well, at least we know which sugar baby he's maintaining that body for. Let's talk about some fresh blood, because this year's variety idol group 10 Diligent Ones seems to be pretty unfamiliar with the stage the moment autotune is turned off, as netizens complain during their performance that it gets worse and worse as we make our way down the lineup. Although, I must say, all is forgiven when you realize they debuted because the farming show they were on popped off. Fan service is also a pretty common theme this year as well, as Karry Wang aka Wang Junkai, captain of the idol group TF Boys First Generation, delivers a solid performance in a pool, fully clothed whilst in Louboutins. That's bound to get somebody fiending. Evidently only the fans, because besides the fans, everybody else was talking about how nobody could understand what bro was yapping about. In this part of his rap segment. Still, the fans did not seem to care. I'd rather be Karry Wang performing in a pool than this poor lady that had to straight up perform under a waterfall. I mean, are we still watching a performance, or is this like an endurance test of some kind? No, seriously, who the hell decided to crank this all the way up? I mean, I'm pretty sure halfway through the choreography she was doing the same thing I would do after I just finished watching a scary movie, and I'm like fighting against the water to not close my eyes while washing my hair in the shower. Except at least they gave her a shower cap, or else I don't know how she's gonna get through all that current. And then there's just whatever Joe Kishore was doing. Seriously, as the crown jewel of Mandopop pours a whole cup of water on his own head and then struggles to open his eyes throughout the same damn song. Like, hey man, why are you giving us that look as if we're the ones who poured the water on your head? Then we have a very solid entry by ex-EXO member Huang Zitao, who gave us a pretty wild entrance, or as netizens like to put it, like a baby throwing a tantrum. Like, come on Tao, we're in public. But I bet his die-hard fans were also throwing a tantrum the moment they saw this happen on stage, as fans struggle to find the will to live, because bro gets a little too greedy on stage with the kissing scenes. Even his co-star was like, oh, you are doing a little too much right now. Sparking so much outrage, by the way, as his PR firm had to make an apology for Tao getting a little too intimate on national television, perhaps making Huang Zitao the only idol to treat the stage of a New Year's Eve gala like a dance floor in a nightclub. Fan Chengcheng, on the other hand, now a judge on the Rapper China, also had to come out swinging by delivering, honestly, you know what, a pretty good mumble rap segment on stage. Haven't seen a good one come out since the OG was banished into the Shadow Realm. Hate to say it, but I gotta give credit where credit is due. Chris Wu was kind of the GOAT in that regard. Although Tao is not the only dude who got a little greedy on stage, as idol Zhang Jie and famous actress Xie Na also got all lovey-dovey, becoming the second couple of the night to mix work with pleasure, which would have been quite the topic if it wasn't because of this maneuver by comedian and ex-idol Trina Lisa and her fiancé, as they pulled off arguably the most infamous proposal in C Entertainment.
好难听。
对不起啊，你得听一辈子了。你愿意嫁给我吗？
我愿意，还挺合适的。
我怕买大了。
You know what would be funny though? If another couple decided to propose at the same night. That'd be awkward, huh? Like, what would that be? A power play at that point? You know what? Never mind. I'm just happy that whilst I'm watching the New Year's Eve gala, I'm also watching the problem of declining birth rates being solved at the same time. So what can I say? More dopamine for me. And then we had actor Wei Xiang, whom netizens genuinely believed that just decided to rock up unpaid to deliver the most unserious performance yet on the New Year's Eve Gala. I thought bro was actually kind of groovy. I don't know this guy could do that, by the way, but I do know I want more of wherever that came from. Speaking of groovy though, infamous age 40 plus idol group Huang Zitao, probably made for the purpose of capturing an audience with mommy issues, did deliver a banger of a performance as well. It was going so well, matter of fact, until one of the members messed up on the lip syncing. You know what, for a moment I thought we had it all together. For a moment, I don't know how the other members feel, but I feel like it's gonna be like doing a group presentation in university, right? And then one of the girls just chokes when it's her turn, everybody gets like an F because of it. Some of my actual favorite performances of the night though includes Xiao Zhan, the infamous idol who sparked a nationwide internet civil war because of a gay fanfiction, did manage to give us a pretty solid performance as he hit all the notes. And holy shit, this one from the Bilibili station, which I think out of all the shenanigans I've been mentioning today is the most solid solid performance of all, because I don't know what timeline I'm living in where I got to see a rock and roll version of the Plants vs. Zombie theme song, but I'm glad I heard it before I died. Now that is a banger. But either way, this is undoubtedly a turning point for the slop fest people are used to seeing from the New Year's Gala. One thing for sure is that this year, ladies and gentlemen, the tasks did fail successfully, because this is the highest rating I've seen across the board in a while. So let's all kill this year and reward ourselves plenty, because my expectations are going to be pretty high for 2027. See you next time.